G'day, ZiggyD here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how to level up quickly in ChronoBlade. So I've been talking to the developers a bit and I've learned a few things about experience gain and the experience system in ChronoBlade, and that's helped me come up with some ideas about how to go about leveling in a semi-efficient manner. So basically, experience is awarded out on a per kill basis at a flat rate rather than being tied to score or anything like that. You get more experience for killing higher level enemies, as would be fairly obvious. However, there is a scaling system at play, so if you're level 15 and you're fighting level 10 enemies, then you're going to get a reduced amount of experience, even more than the flat amount. There's sort of this like slanted reduction, and that also applies for fighting mobs at a significantly higher level than you. However, the developers said that this is a fairly soft sort of slant, so I think it's fairly safe to say that fighting enemies a couple levels above yourself is still going to give you a net positive benefit. So as you're progressing through the game, you'll notice that the zones increase in level as you go through. So level 2, 3, and sometimes there's bigger jumps like level 8 to 10 here and 10 and 10. If you just progress through each mission, doing the 1 star, doing normal mode in each mission, you'll notice that you'll be under-leveled for the zones. Now you have a few options whenever that happens. You can go back and play an easier zone on a higher difficulty, so the first zone on hard is around level 6 or something like that, so it's a couple levels higher than the actual normal level of the zone. It isn't indicated anywhere on here, but you can tell by the level of the actual enemies when you get into the stage. And your alternative option is, once you reach level 5, is to participate in the tournament. The way the tournament works is that the enemies are scaled and leveled to your level, so it's always a great place to level up. You have these tournament tokens, so pretty much whenever you want a good way to level up, and even a little bit of gold and things like that on the sign, spending those tournament tokens is a good idea. However, I don't actually think that's the fastest way to level up, although it is a great way to level in between just normal progression. I actually think the fastest way to level up is to play mechanically easy zones on higher difficulties than you would otherwise think that you'd be able to. A good example here is I played normal on heroic difficulty when I was around level 9 or 10, and the enemies in that zone are level 13 on heroic difficulty. Now, you would think that would be quite difficult playing, being very underleveled for a stage. However, because those enemies in this zone are very mechanically easy, you can essentially fight the whole zone without taking a single hit. So it really doesn't matter how much more difficult the mobs are in terms of stats, so they could have more HP and do more damage, but if they never hit you, then it's really not a problem. So a great way to level up is to do these earlier zones and these mechanically easy zones, and if you come across a zone that you find not too difficult in terms of just the way that the enemies attack you, and you're able to avoid their attacks fairly well, then leveling up in that as the highest level possible is a great way to level. So recently I've been leveling here in Lowlands Bridge on heroic difficulty, and that's level 16. So I did that all the way from level 13 to level 15 now, and I might use it a little bit more. From then I'll probably go into the Watchtower on heroic difficulty. This zone is a little bit more mechanically difficult though, as you have some enemies that block and things like that. However, these first 3 zones were very easy on heroic difficulty, and I actually think I could have done them from much lower level. I pretty much have no doubt that I could do like heroic in the first zone at a very low level, like level 4 or 5, and level up in there very quickly. Now, although you do get that diminishing return from fighting significantly higher leveled enemies, the base experience amount that you get is still really high, and I leveled really quickly fighting in these zones. So I think do your normal progression. When you have your tournament tokens, you can spend those. You might as well have a crack at the tournaments anyway, and it's sort of like a nice change of pace from the world map. But when you want to level really quickly, play the easiest zones you can that have the highest level mobs on their highest level difficulties. So these first 3 zones are a great place to start, and as you go through you can notice, you can basically just go back and fill through the earlier zones that you haven't completed, and you can even grind these over and over just to level up. Like I'll probably do this one once or twice more and hit level 16 pretty quickly that way. So as an added bonus, not only is this a very easy and quick way to level, playing on the higher difficulties actually results in more gold as well. So you're going to get more gold from the pots and the environmental things, and more gold drops and higher value gear from enemies as well. So that means you can sell that for more gold. So I've also been able to accrue much more gold doing this method than I would have just playing appropriately leveled content, even though I find these first few levels very easy, even with them being over leveled for me by a significant margin. So hopefully this has helped for you guys, and you have taken a few tips from it on how you can level up a little bit more quickly in ChronoBlade. Enjoy your leveling and enjoy spending all your new skill points. That's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.